What are some like tactical things that they can start doing like right away? Maybe they don't have the funds to hire a coach, or maybe put that in a different perspective of why money is really not, an excuse or objection to go hire someone like you or be a part of a program that can actually help them get to that top performance that they need to be as an entrepreneur.
So it's a really great question. And the first thing I'm going to say, and it comes back to this is people always want to know the how. I've been on shows like this hundreds of times over the last couple of years. Justin, what's your best tactic? Justin, what's the best way to do this? And you go on Instagram and you're going to see all this clickbait of, this is the best thing you can do for your sleep. This is the best thing you can do for your workouts. This is the best thing you can do for stress management. This is the best thing you can do for health optimization. Well, they actually don't know, because they don't know you. You're an individual. You're unique. You have unique stressors. You have unique, your bodies you created uniquely. You have unique priorities. And so we need to realize we have to stop solving unique problems with generalized solutions. That's why we wind up in the same problem. We wind up in the same space. And until you have a desire for awareness at a level that makes you take action differently, you're going to stay exactly where you are. And so coming back to this and like expanding on this is like, where should somebody start? Is number one, like when it comes to health and performance, my book, The Power of Ownership, it was a God download. It was something that allows people to go and pay $25 and grab a book and open up some of this awareness to what they didn't know they didn't know. And all of a sudden for the first time go, man, I didn't know that. Man, I didn't realize that. Man, I've never thought about that. And when you now open that up, you've now unlocked a new version of you. Like, you have to realize that. You've now elevated and you've now grown yourself to now make another choice. Is what's my next choice? Am I going to engage and I'm going to go and get the coach that can help me time collapse this? Am I going to go and take the next step in maybe just having a conversation? Or am I going to go and get my wearable? Or am I going to go and get my cellular testing to find more information so that I can slowly start iterating into this and move forward? So the first thing I would say is go grab the book. Get the book, The Power of Ownership. Because at that point, that is when you're going to start to be able to lean in. Number two, get a wearable device. Start tracking heart rate variability. Heart rate variability at its core is the language of how our body is adapting to stress and strain. Our body doesn't know the difference, mental, physical, spiritual, emotional stress. And so knowing that it doesn't know that, we are constantly under different stressors that are filling up our cup. And our cup gets so overflowed that it creates symptoms, which ultimately leads us to some level of health breakdown along the way. And so HRV is that number that gives us the awareness to, hey, maybe what I'm doing is out of balance, is out of rhythm. And again, if you want to do it yourself, great, step in, go get a Whoop band, go get an Oura ring, go start there. Or you can do that and come along with your coaching team and figure out, how can we expedite this process? How can we figure this out in a little bit of a deeper, more steep way? And so these are the things that like we talk about, and we bring all of this together in our coaching. And people are like, oh, well, there's no way I can afford that. Man, if you can't afford a couple $100s to invest in you, the asset, then I would argue that you probably aren't fit to be leading others. Because people have sat and asked me, so Justin, so like, what has been your greatest investment? And I said, my greatest investment every single year for the last 6 years, the thing I've invested the most money in every single year is coaching. I have seven active coaches today. I have a relationships coach. I have a business coach. I have a speaking coach. I have a piano coach because I want to learn the piano. Like, these are all I have a health coach. I hire my own team members to coach me in my own health, to keep me accountable to certain things. These are the things that I have a finances coach. Like, I have all of these coaches that are helping to guide me because I know that I'm the asset, not the expert. And if I'm able to become somebody new, that's why my growth over the last 5 years has been exponential. I look at the guy 5 years ago and I don't recognize him. I don't recognize his life. I don't recognize his mindset. I don't recognize his health. I don't recognize his energy. I don't recognize his relationships. I don't recognize his environment. This does not happen by accident. And a lot of us think that just by showing up and listening to a podcast or reading a book or going to an event, that it's going to radically all of a sudden change. No, those things are part of the process, but you have to decide that you're going to take action and be the player, the person that gets into the arena, the person that gets into the room, the person that puts the shoes on and says, I want to be the player who wants to be the one that is going to take ownership of this. I don't want to be the journalist that's critiquing everybody anymore. I don't want to be the fan that's just being entertained anymore. I want to be the player, and the player gets involved. The player takes the step. The player takes the extra move to ultimately get the outcomes that they're desiring, because you have to, again, realize to go where others can't, you have to do what others won't. And if you fail to have a desire for awareness, then you will stay exactly where you are.